Hey everyone, and welcome back to our journey. I'm Lord Arathorn, and I'll be your humble guide and companion on today's adventure. If you're new to the journey, I invite you to follow or subscribe to the channel so you'll always know when we're starting the next leg of our adventure. Speaking of which, today we're going to be continuing with the World Boss Rush event here in Guild Wars 2. Right now we're here in God's Lost Swamp, fighting Shadow Behemoth. And we'll start here and just kind of work our way from there. And for anybody who's joined us, thank you so much for stopping by. How's everybody doing tonight? So now, of course, Twitch drops are live for this. So, so make sure that, you've got your account connected and everything. And I've actually put in chat how to do so and how to claim those. And even if you're, you happen to be, missing one of the drops after the fact or anything, I've also put a link there on how to resolve that within your ArenaNet Guild Wars 2 account. So some handy links there in chat. Try and get our friends up here. Rub, rub, little buddy. And still a lot of people showing up for the World Boss Rush event. Really, really cool to see. Which it's good. It's a really good loot, and the chance for the infusions as well. That's definitely a benefit for coming. Because even if you don't want the infusion, there's likely some kind of infusion that you do want for your gear. So, it's worth getting one that you don't want, selling it on the trading post, and then, going ahead and converting that to something that you do. So. And as always, if anyone has any questions about anything, the game, Twitch drops themselves, anything like that, please do feel free, to ask. As I always say in our guild, there's no such thing as a stupid question. There's genuinely only ways, to try and understand, and we find that out by asking the questions. So I can promise you that no one's going to judge you for asking in here. Because that is not what we do. I learned a long time ago in the real world, as well as in game, that, if you wanted to know anything, you can't be shy about asking. I mean, there's no shame in not knowing, and quite frankly, I mean, I know this sounds overly simplistic, but you don't know what you don't know. So that's why I'd like to have an environment where everybody feels comfortable, asking, seeking to know, just finding out things. So yeah, never hesitate to do that. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and go to the Shatterer. Hopefully everybody's equipped their CC or crowd control. We can keep this boss from taking off. There's an achievement for that. You got to do it quite a few times. Still haven't managed to complete it all the way through.
You can never have too much treasure.
You get a neat ascended backpack, you know, for that. So it would look okay on my little thief.
Sharper still.
I've actually always really liked the look of the Shatterer, you know, as far as a world boss or just, you know, design-wise in general. But like I know they were trying to make the boss more engaging and everything when they redid him way back, but I think I personally like the boss the old way. I don't know. And maybe I just got used to, you know, just doing it and face tanking it and stuff like that, but you know, it was just I don't know, I'm just not so sure how much people, you know, show up when a boss increases in difficulty in a game like Guild Wars 2. To me, whenever you increase the difficulty of something that previously wasn't, you're serving in a game like Guild Wars 2. Now, I'm not talking about, you know, your Souls players or anything like that, because those obviously are not generally playing a game like this. But, you know, you're serving such a niche audience with content like that in a game like this that I don't know. I don't really know if it's ever warranted to really increase the difficulty of an open world boss like that. Because, I mean, it wasn't lacking for people showing up, you know, even back then. So, but I don't know. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. And just really quick while we're waiting for the boss, we're going to be right back. Just give us just a moment. Alright, and we're back. Sorry about that. For some reason, my voice was a little bit scratchy. And I don't want to cough into the mic, so... Got another minute to rest in my chair for a little bit of bonus XP. Because, you know, resonating slivers are nice. Alright, there we go. Let's got our little XP bonus here. I'm gonna back off some of this visual noise just a bit. My goodness. That is a lot. It will be good to have this wrapped up, though, because I've got to say that, I mean, it's the waiting, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't really feel, you know, overly conducive to, you know, to having a fun stream, you know, in the way that, you know, World versus World or, you know, even World Exploration or anything like that, you know, kind of does, because you're sort of, you know, you're sort of locked down waiting with, you know, with everyone else, so... And we can always get up here above it too, so that's a plus. Yeah, there's somebody else mentioning the weight. But, I mean, there's only so many world bosses that you can legitimately add in this case, because, I mean, you know, it's just one of those things that, I mean, you can't really add the, you know, any of the Orion, you know, temple world bosses, because, I mean, you know, those aren't on an actual timer, and, you know, honestly, I mean, you know, you got to complete the, well, I mean, you have to complete the priest for anything, of course, but, you know, those can be a little bit lengthy and stall as well, so. But that's okay. We'll just hang out, do these world bosses for a bit, and then we'll probably move on to, you know, to some other content and whatever else. Maybe a little world versus world.
Some must fight, so that all may live. We fight because we must.
And one thing for anyone who, I know I mentioned, you know, using CC,
We cannot afford fear.
you know, when we were coming here as a joke and whatever else, but, you know, if you do have stuff, you know, the United Legion's way station stuff, you get your electromagnetical pulses there. That really, really, really helps with CC, especially if you don't normally have a lot in your build. And some people don't, you know, I mean, everybody's got a little bit, but, you know, it's, you know, it definitely helps. So go ahead and take that for this fight, and you can see how it pops up right there. You know, because any kind of things, you know, stun, slow, knockdown, knockback, you know, anything like that. And for anyone who's not familiar with CC, I mean, hey, we'll just take a look at it. Like, you can look here, like, you know, I've got Immobilize here on, you know, Sword 3, which is Rend. You know, and then, you know, even with, I run Longbow in PvE, you know, for stacking Might with my fire fields, but you can see I've got a Daze there on Longbow 4 and an Immobilize. But, let's go ahead and get to it here. Gonna zoom out so we can see when we got some downs and stuff here. Dodge back out of that. Don't want to become crystals. And for anyone not familiar on those pulsing crystal nodes, you know, you want to break that CC bar, that blue bar at the bottom. So that they damage a little bit easier. And we didn't get it. Ah, well. there's always next time and all the times after. And welcome in to anyone who's joined us in the last few moments. My name's Lord Arathorn. We're just hanging out, chilling, wrapping up the World Boss Rush event, all that good stuff. There's a couple links in chat there about, you know, how to set up your Twitch and link your Twitch and Guild Wars 2 accounts to get your drops and everything, and how to get missing drops just in case you have those as well. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and Svanir Shaman is next. I think we need, what is it, 3 more, I believe? And we'll have the event all wrapped up. And after that, we'll probably move on to World versus World. You know, something like that. And as always, if you've got any questions at all, do not hesitate to ask. That's what we're here for. And if you've got a favorite world boss or anything else, feel free to drop it in the chat there. Mine personally is, you know, like I was saying the other night, Claw of Jormag always has been. I even carry the sword. But I've just always, I don't know, I've always really enjoyed that, you know, that particular world boss, that fight and everything else. But yeah, we were playing some World versus World yesterday. We had some new guildies that we were taking in for the first time, and they did a fantastic job. I mean, you know, I think everyone remembers their first World versus World experience. You know, and sometimes that can be, I know for me, you know, mine was much less impressive than theirs was. I got ganked by an entire roaming group way back when I first, I guess it was 2013. You know, so yeah, no, they did really good. They enjoyed it. A couple of them are actually there now, so yeah, it's good to see people, you know, be able to get into a different game mode and, you know, just, I don't know. I always just love that. That's one of the best things about being, you know, being in a guild and, you know, being a guild leader is to, you know, to help people, you know, discover different content and stuff like that. It's just really nice to see. It's always nice when people are kind enough to play a little music for you while you wait for a world boss. Breaks up the monotony a bit. Or in the case of this char, dancing. I always enjoyed playing music. I mean, not necessarily, I mean, even in game, yeah, I mean, sure, but, you know, even in real life, you know, I always enjoyed playing music. I always wished I could sing, though. But that is not in my wheelhouse. When it comes to singing, I've got a, yeah, I've got a voice made for the soundtrack for silent films, but... Actually, oh my goodness, one more boss. One more world boss. This is it. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm farther ahead than what I thought. Very cool. Yeah, so after we take down Svanir Shaman, yeah, definitely going to go ahead and probably head into World versus World. Because I think I've had about enough of waiting around for world bosses. Gonna go do some stuff that, you know, lets us smash some folks in the face and have some fun. Let's see here. Okay. And we are blue this week, so looks like we're doing pretty solid right now. Come on, buddy. Let's go.
Stand back, Tom. The job is unfinished his ritual. And focus on the top. That feels good. Refreshing.
All right, portal's down.
What? How did you get to me so fast? Fine. I can finish this quickly with a little effort. Almost ready. For great justice. Forge the way. Nice. Very nice.
I move with the desert wind.
Come on and die, brother.
Never give up. For great justice.
Well, he did come on. I'll give him that. And welcome into anyone who's joined us in the last few minutes. If you're new to the channel, I do invite you to follow so you'll know whenever we're starting the next leg of our journey. My name's Lord Arathorn. Most folks just call me Ara. And we are just wrapping up. This is our last boss for the World Boss Rush event. And then we're going to go do a little World versus World, see what we can get into. As always, if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to ask. That is what we're here for.
For great justice. I'm fading fast.
Back on my feet.
For great justice. Take that. Refreshing. That's a come. Almost there.
I don't fear no thing.
For great justice. Now we can fight for real. We persevere.
Next!
For great justice. Aiding the
Come on.
Smash him!
swift stream. Almost ready. You're kidding, right?
Never saw it coming. Next!
Great justice.
2, 1. Yes. And done.
You can never have too much treasure.
All right, awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and check out and see what's going on green, see if anybody's there. All right. And do we have a tag on the map? No, we do not. Looks like we're over on red borderlands as well. Not many people over here. I'm gonna see if there's a tag on red. Hey Zalira, how's it going? Welcome in. Yeah, there's a tag. Pink kitty tag. All right. Gonna go ahead and get our banners here. Alright, so they're way up north. So we're going to get our food here and our utility. We're going to get on our war claw and we're going to head out. Yeah, doing pretty good. Had a pretty busy weekend as far as, you know, just doing stuff, and also really busy, you know, with the guild, and, you know, did some recruiting, you know, got some people acclimated to some different game modes for the first time. You know, it was really nice. Really, really nice. We actually did a little world versus world with a, you know, with a small group of guildies. It was their first time in. And so, yeah, that's always really cool to see people, you know, kind of get into a new game mode and, you know, really enjoy themselves. They did a really good job. Really good job. Whoops. Okay, our tag's back at Airkeep. Well, that works, so we can just meet up with them and head out from there. Or I said we could. I don't know where they went. Might have changed maps. I'll check green, see if they moved over there. Ah, there we go. Okay, that Snow White motif is absolutely awesome. Wow. Well, let's save our friend here. No, no. Don't run away. There we go. Yeah, absolutely I do. You know, I play, honestly, you know, it's kind of funny. I know a lot of people, you know, probably maybe only play when they stream. But no, I actually play quite a bit. You know, and kind of different parts of the day. It just depends, like, if we've got an event going on or something on, like, the weekends, or, you know, or if, you know, something, you know, work-wise or working on something. But yeah, I play pretty much, you know, most parts of the day. You know, so yeah, I mean, anytime you want to jump in, you know, you just let me know. Yeah, you can shoot me a message on socials. You can, you know, whatever, whenever you're ready to, you know, to get in and everything else. Absolutely. Yeah, I just, you know, Guild Wars 2, you know, it's not, you know, it's not just a game that, you know, that I find streamable. It's actually a game I've always legitimately loved, and just have a real, actual passion for it. Yeah, actually, I do, I sadly don't usually have it open, but I do have, but my Discord should be, you know what, I don't think there is a link on my Lord Arathorn page yet. I'll tell you what I'll do, here in just a bit, I'll shoot you, the Discord link, on Insta, so you can get in there, and I'll make sure to try to keep that open a little more too. I need to get in the habit of doing it anyway, because it's just, I mean, truthfully, it's just way easier to run, like, you know, guild events and stuff like that, you know, being on Discord and stuff anyway. Cool, good deal. Yeah, but whenever you want to play and stuff, there's, you know, we'll definitely be on. We'll run through, you know, some of the basics and stuff like that, and, you know, just make sure you're kind of set up and all that good stuff. Because I know starting out in an MMO, I mean, I know it can kind of be a little bit, you know, there can kind of be a little bit of trepidation there. So yeah, no worries. We will definitely, we'll go through and, you know, we'll introduce you to the kind of content that you like to play, and yeah, just have some fun. That's actually, honestly, that's what I was doing for a little bit today, with some new guildies that I met in the Sylvari starting zone. You know, we just, a couple of us just, you know, running around, just introducing to, you know, different aspects, kind of, you know, tips on best ways to level and stuff like that. So yeah, we can definitely get you going and get you set up. Oh, we actually got the keep. Might end up getting my keep capper for the week. Anyway, here. For my weekly World versus World. I mean, I got my weekly finished, but I'm never going to turn down loot. And welcome into anyone who's joined us. My name's Lord Arathorn. Most people just call me Era. We wrapped up the World versus World, or, my god, I'm still stuck in in that week. We wrapped up the World Boss Rush event, and now I'm in World versus World, is what I meant to say. Just seeing what kind of fights we can get in, things we can capture. If you're new to the channel, I do invite you to follow, so you'll always know when we start the next leg of our adventure. And as always, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. That's what we're here for. Doesn't matter, beginner, otherwise, does not matter at all. Ask away. Because that's one thing about it. I mean, I know it can feel, because there are a lot of communities that aren't like Guild Wars 2. So when people come to Guild Wars 2, they can still feel a little bit hesitant as far as, asking questions and things like that. And I never want anyone to ever feel like that. Because we have the same mindset in our guild that we have, here on stream. You're always welcome to ask questions. Anything like that. And we'll do our very best to answer it. Because that's how we learn, how we grow. It's always been important to me that people feel comfortable, that they don't, be made to feel out of place or anything like that. Yeah, that's exactly right, Zalira. I mean, that's because you don't know what you don't know. And, it's just the worst thing in the world, whether it's, the workplace or anything else. Like when you feel, that anxiety, like, you're afraid to ask something or you're going to be made fun of or anything, anything like that. Anywhere I've always worked, like I've tried to foster the kind of environment that, there's a genuine open door policy that, ask. And even if I don't know, and I certainly do not know everything, nor have I ever. I still learn stuff every day. There's still stuff about the game, coming back to it that, that I've learned even these past few months and stuff. But I will do my absolute best to try to find out, and we'll learn together. No one should ever be ashamed of not knowing,
Sharp blades, sharp mind.
Alright, we got our supply here. And that's one thing for anyone who's, who's not familiar. Anytime that, that you're by, a tower, a keep, supplied, camp, anything like that, always try to supply up, because you can see up here, and the commander has a couple of commands as well for people who aren't in squad and everything that they can type in to see as well if, people are stacked kind of close. But that supply number, that's how you end up building, all of the siege, like the, the battering rams that you've seen called flame rams in game, or the catapults or trebuchets or anything like that. So yeah, that's it's always important to have supply so you can build those things, because it really, really helps. and when the commander throws down siege, speaking as a commander, it really helps if everybody's supplied up. Supply in world versus world is life. Whether you're defending, whether you're, you know, because I mean, you know, yeah, if something's upgraded, it may have a lot of supply in it to defend, but if it's not, supply goes a lot quicker than what one would think when you're trying to defend an objective, especially if it's not been, you know, properly sieged up. And, you know, let's be honest, I mean, that's not... Sieging a keep is not necessarily a lot of people's idea of a fun way to play. Now, me personally, I don't know, and I guess I'm weird, you know, because that's something that I do every now and then just to have, you know, just a nice chill play session. I mean, I don't, you know, not something I'm probably ever going to stream or anything like that. You know, but yeah, I mean, you know, I've always enjoyed, you know, just building a good defense, especially like if I'm waking up in the morning and just, you know, my career in, you know, as a food service director and executive chef, you know, my hands don't always work the best, especially in the morning time. So, you know, that's something that, you know, I can do just to kind of, you know, it kind of helps the cause a little bit, and, you know, it helps us defend our own stuff, and, you know, it helps my hands wake up at the same time so I can go do, you know, all the dodgy stuff like this and, you know, get in fights later. Looks like we're going to take Bloodlust here. Tell you what, unless we run into a green Zerg by some chance. Looks like green's about to have a bad day. Let's go! Because we owe them from yesterday. They were a bit of a pain when we were roaming around with, you know, with our guildies, just doing some teaching and stuff and whatever. So yeah, we definitely owe them a few licks. And for anyone still needing their Twitch drops, you know, we do have drops enabled on the stream. If you need to, you know, those are in-game items that you can get by linking your Guild Wars 2 account with your Twitch account. And I've got the way to do that in the pinned comments, and then at the very top of the stream, I've also linked if you're missing any drops after the fact, because sometimes, you know, one won't necessarily come through to your oh, we got some reds here, but it won't necessarily come through to your, you know, to your account. Sometimes you'll be missing one or something, but it's a really easy, simple fix. You don't have to send a ticket or anything like that. You can just you can go right in and have it done yourself in just a real quick moment. So I've also got that link there at the top of the chat. It's always useful information to have. Sadly, I can't remember what the other two items are, but I do remember the bouquet of roses. And hey, that's romantic. Well, thank you, little red people, for, you know, for knocking down most of the outer wall, at least. Appreciate that.
Refreshing. Rushing for great justice. Now we can fight for real. Illuminate. For great justice.
And welcome in to anyone who's joined us in the last little bit. If you're new to the channel, my name's Lord Arathorn. Most people just call me Ara. I do invite you to follow the channel if you enjoy just hanging out, just having some chill streams, things like that. If you have any questions or anything at all, don't hesitate to ask. Ah, there you go. Butler outfit and Lion's Arch Survivor's die. Thank you so much, Delira. Alright, Inner is down. And that's one thing that I tell folks about, you know, about World versus World. You know, and it's easy for me to say because sometimes, you know, you will get a little bit heated, you know, in some situations. But, I mean, generally speaking, I mean, you just have to kind of have an understanding. And this is what I always tell new guildies who are, you know, coming into the game mode for the first time. Sometimes you're the hammer. Sometimes you're the nail. You know, and your fortunes can change really on a dime. So, you know, like yesterday what we're doing now and the ease with which we're doing it, that was not the case yesterday. We were getting hit pretty hard by green, and even red was taking advantage of that fact a little bit. So, you know, it's important just to kind of keep that perspective when at all possible. It'll help you enjoy this particular game mode a lot more if you can keep that kind of outlook. But as stated, I'm human, and I have, you know, I can get frustrated sometimes too. But those are the times that you just, you know, you need to go find something else to do, something to have fun with. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff to do. So, you know, if World versus World's not going your way at that moment, go do some, you know, some map exploration, go, you know, do something a little more chill, you know, whatever it is. Because sometimes it's just a numbers game, and the way it's set up, like, you know, you can be outnumbered on a map, and the map can be fully queued up, you know, so you either got to choose to go to one of their maps or their side of things and, you know, play strategically, or, you know, just go do something else, you know, in game. And there's always, you know, there's always stuff to do. There's fractals, there's dungeons, there's insert myriad things here. And for anyone unfamiliar, what you just saw there was a very, very good use of a Mesmer's portal skill, because now these golems didn't have to run all the way through the keep and all the way around. They basically saved probably more than 2/3 of the amount of time by dropping that portal in those positions and those golems taking it. It's rather brilliant strategy-wise. See, like here, the Mesmer's gonna drop the portal, and then they're going to run up ahead there, and they're gonna drop the other end of their portal skill. And there you go. That can actually, I mean, it can also be a really good tactic if you've got some Mesmers running with your group, or even, you know, for a small group. You know, if you're in some small, you know, team fights, that can be a very, very handy thing to pull off. I mean, it can really, you know, that and Veil and, you know, your elite, you know, mass invisibility, you'll hear people call MI. I mean, those kind of skills can really, really, really change the tenor of a fight quickly. So there's, I mean, you know, it can be, and that's the thing that I really love about Guild Wars 2 and the play styles and things like that, is that, you know, it can be as inelegant and smash mouth as you want it, or it can be as finely tuned and, you know, and tactical as you want it. You know, and it really lends itself to both, you know, to both play styles. I mean, you can just go around with a giant blob and, you know, and just be capping things and, you know, and wiping out other teams, stuff like that. Or you can be smart and strategic and sneaky and, you know, be hitting them from places that most people aren't even familiar with, or be doing stuff like this. You know, it's kind of a mixed bag. I mean, it really is fun, and that's really a reason that I really enjoy World versus World, is because of, you know, of stuff like that. Because as you can see, when you get a few golems together like that, and these are siege golems, I mean, that door, the door is having a really bad day. Because you can just see how quickly that's draining. And it draining that quickly, like there's just no time for the defenders inside to, you know, to really respond. Yeah, they can't really, there's no real siege that they can build, you know, nothing like that. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I mean, to my hammer and nail scenario, I mean, you know, I've decidedly been on both sides of it a lot. But yeah, it's, you know, it's part of it, and when you're, you know, when you're on the other side of it and you find yourself getting frustrated, you sort of have to remember the moments like this that, you know, oh well, hey, you know, I've had those high points too. like we're gonna build more golems. Well, their bad day's about to get worse. My utility is about to run out. Let's get that done. Because I think this is the only upgraded thing they've got left. Well, hell, it's one of the only things they've got left besides a couple of camps. Shoo, buddy. That's gonna hurt their feelings. That's gonna hurt their feelings. God, that just melted. What is it, 5 golems we have with us? Yeah, oh my god. Wow. Brutal. Back before they did the server merges and things like that, we played on Eridon Terrace, or ET for short. And man, I remember, now a lot of the, again, you know, and I've said this before, you know, a lot of times we were fighting from the bottom, you know, because we were kind of an underdog server. But because of that, like, we really knew how to do a lot with, you know, with smaller numbers. And I remember, like, during some of our server rally nights and stuff like that, we would just, like, and they would prepare for this up to, you know, up before rally time. Like, there would be so many friggin' golems that, you know, that people would have built just for rally night. And my god, I mean, you want to talk about decapping a borderland quickly? I mean, because, I mean, when you have so many golems like that, I mean, there's just nothing you can do against it. I mean, because even if you have the place sieged up, I mean, you know, golems don't die easily. Let's just say that. But that's another thing I've had done to me as well, so, I mean, it's not the funnest thing to defend against, I'll say that. Have I really been running around without food this... Oh my god. Wow. Okay. Okay. Jeez. Alright, well now that I've replenished my food, let's go over here and see if they need help defending. And for anyone who's joined us, thank you for stopping in. If you're new to the channel, my name's Lord Arathorn. Most folks just call me Era. And you are more than welcome to follow the channel, so you'll always know when we start the next leg of our journey. And if you have any questions or anything at all, don't hesitate to ask. We always try our best to be helpful. And this is what I was talking about, you know, about building defensive siege, you know, and stuff like that earlier. I mean, they, you know, they had a pretty good response and got it built and was able to drive them off. Alright, so it looks like our squad leader is tagging down. So we're going to join the purple tag. We'll go ahead and get everything repaired back up and then see what they want to do there. Alright, looking good again. Let's see. They've only got one of our towers. They might want to go home and try to cap some of their stuff. Oh, it's team. That's fun. That's one thing I'll say is, you know, they do know what they're doing. Why is no one on the arrow cart? Like, that's... I'm not really... I'm more built to be on the front lines, but I mean, if nobody's gonna man it, yeah, someone should be. Because you can really, again, we talk about, you know, changing the tenor of a fight. An arrow cart can really do that in a hurry if you have your masteries up. Which I do, you know, thankfully. See how that... See their downs? That's how an arrow cart can change that. Because they do hurt. They certainly hurt. And if you build them back the way that, you know, they've been built here, you know, it generally will save you from being pulled off the edge. That's right, die, you shits. I feel bad sometimes with, you know, the linked servers and stuff like that these days, because I actually ran with Team, you know, a few links ago and stuff. They were pretty nice people, so I mean, for all my talks of die you shits, like, I mean, you know, they were actually pretty cool. But you know, it's a different link now, man. You gotta, you know.
Refreshing.
Now they gotta die. And I'm probably going to get pulled here. But until I do, we're going to try to knock these flame rams and people from getting them built and using them. That's the dangerous thing about cannons. They are right on the edge.
Adrenaline rising. Almost ready.
But we'll certainly do what we can until, you know, until it turns bad.
I feel so.
Oh, get out of that. Okay. Time to drop the oil. I do not have oil mastery, however. Oh! Yeah. Did what I could there. But even my health pool has limits. 30k as it may be. So we'll go back, see if we can sneak in the front there. Not entirely sure why, you know, why the tag is not, here, but I mean, you know, maybe they were doing something useful. I don't know. I guess would be probably not, though. Like, considering they're trying to knock down our front door. No, I'm not gonna let you stand there either. I've got range, bud. We're gonna make it hurt all the way down the hill. Alright, I'm gonna hop off that and get in as part of this push here. Cleave these downs. Oh no.
Bring that one down. Blade score almost ready.
Blast those water fields for some heals.
Advance. Gaining adrenaline.
There are a few things, and I'm just going to be a little bit bloodthirsty here for a minute, but I swear on everything, there are a few things as satisfying as hitting that skill right there, Earthshaker, that I just hit on people in World vs. World. I swear to God, it's cathartic. Like, it sounds terrible to say, like, I get it, like, it doesn't make me sound like the best human being in the world, but oh my God. Like, just absolutely locking them down, like, you know. I mean, it's just straight up hammer smash. Like, good stuff. res our friends here. And welcome in to anyone who's joined us in the last little bit. We're just doing some world versus world here. We finished the world boss rush event a little bit earlier, so just hanging out. Got Twitch drops. Got Twitch drops active, so I have a feeling this fight's not going to go the best because team is genuinely usually well coordinated, but we'll see. Yeah.
Refreshing.
Didn't figure that'd go super well because we're not in any way as coordinated as what they are right now. Try to get this stomp. Yeah. Guild Shield finisher. Hoorah. And that's why I love Earthshaker. No, stay around. Oh my god. We didn't capture the camp. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, there's a good lesson in not trying to glide when you know, when you don't own the zone. Oh boy. That was great. Super professional player over here, folks. Straight up pro league. Oh, it's embarrassing. I guess that at this point, you know, it's probably a bad time to say, hey, if you've got any questions about the game or anything, don't hesitate to ask. You know, I can teach you to straight up just, you know, leap right off cliffs. You know. Now see, it'll work a little bit differently. We can glide that out. You know. But if you don't own that area, yeah, don't do that. I'll tell you what's even more embarrassing, because, I mean, it's not like that's the first time I've ever done that or anything. Yeah, when you're not paying attention, like I wasn't there, and you're commanding, and you've got the tag over your head and all, and, you know, everybody pretty well trusts, you know, they follow where the commander, you know, goes, and you lead everybody else right off the cliff. That's always good. That'll engender trust. don't know if we want to get caught down on the steps in this fight, though, per se.
Vacate these premises.
Got very little supply, or I'd be more inclined to build,
Bring that one down.
to rebuild this cannon site.
I'm back. For great justice. Adrenaline rising.
I reject your evil power.
Go ahead and cleave this down.
For great justice.
Go ahead and get our friends up here. Rub, rub.
Almost ready. Armored up. Gaining adrenaline. Refreshing.
Add me your strength, my friend. Bombs out. Big
For
shot.
great justice. Almost ready.
Help me over here.
Now we can fight for real.
Alright, we'll go ahead and just get the stomp. Hit him with the guild finisher. Love that.
For great justice.
Earth Shaker in there. Lock that down. Beautiful. Alright, don't know if you saw that on the screen, but yeah, I mean, that's the, you know, it's easy to get a little bloodlusty sometimes. Oh, that's great. Well, let's throw what supply we've got into our... Well, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. That's a few. Get back up here to our friends. Do a little more arrow carding here. Support the commander outside the gate. Keep the zone hot.
Assistance, please.
Just keep making it hot.
Vacate these premises.
There we go. There we go. Pour what supply we've got into the gate. I mean, I gotta be honest with you, I don't blame them for being that persistent after what we did to their borderlands. I mean, what we did over there, I mean, if you did that in real life, I mean, that shit would be a war crime. And for anybody who's joined us in the last little bit, welcome in. My name's Lord Arathorn. Most folks call me Era. If you're new to the channel, we do invite you to follow, so you'll always know when we, when we start the next leg of our journey. And if you got any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the chat. Looks like maybe they lost interest, though. So that's good. And they've at least taken back, you know, a small amount of their own borderland, so. Because that was all blue just a little bit ago. And they're back. This really is the SpongeBob, you know, meme about, did we already teach you this lesson, old man?
Strength of the pack.
Shake it off for great justice.
Help get our friend up here.
For great justice.
Ooh. Alright, that was definitely hot.
For great justice. For great justice.
Definitely hot. Brutal. I don't know if our commander's on break or what they're doing, but as a rule, it's always a good idea to refresh Siege as you go by, because it does have a countdown timer. Like that first one that I refreshed was at like 17 minutes, and after that it just disappears if you don't refresh it. So my mindset is that if someone is kind enough to, you know, to set it and build it and everything else, the least you can do is refresh it as you run by. It's just good world versus world etiquette. And it helps defend the place, so. Refresh my utility there. And make our way back to hills to defend. And for anyone who's joined us, welcome in. My name's Lord Arathorn. Most people call me Ara. And we're just doing some world versus world. Trying to keep team and their group out of our hills.
I don't have long.
Just getting started. For great justice.
Ooh. I thought the commander was outside and pushing out, but apparently not. I have a feeling they're probably going to be inside soon. Nobody on the bloody arrow cart. Throw what supply we've got into the gate at least. There they are.
Refreshing.
Not so fast, pal. Not so fast. No, no, stick around. Blast the water fields for our fields for our friends.
Stay with me.
That feels good.
Good. Good deal. Nice.
Attack my target.
Boy, we have a super long tail, though.
Armored up.
Or where the green Zerg moved to.
For great justice. Almost ready. Now we can fight for real.
Blast the fire fields for might.
Blades ready. For great justice. That feels good.
There's some famine coming.
To unleash. Just hide.
I don't know why you want to push out. Make them come up and fight on Lord. I mean, that's the... Like, that's the whole point. Like, that's why you're taking this. Make them come up and defend this ring that comes up. Because then they have to come in here. They don't have a choice. It's either that or lose it. And if you have all your people in here, then, you know, they have no choice but to fight on your ground. There's very, very few scenarios where you should ever not fight on Lord.
We become one. For great justice. Gaining adrenaline.
Alright, so we got that. So yeah, good deal. So with that, today's adventure is going to draw to a close. And I want to thank everyone once again for traveling along with me. And I'll see you all soon for the next leg of our journey. We'll probably be doing, I would say, some more World versus World, just some things like that. I've got to look at what's coming down the line as far as events for Guild Wars 2. But, you know, when that drops, we'll be doing that. But yeah, so in the meantime, please do remember to be good to one another. Remember to extend yourself some grace. And as we say in the order, with honor to glory. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.